This is virtual insanity! Ubuntu first, now Windows 10 on a Synology NAS? Stick around, because it's TechWizTime. Hey guys, Jonathan here with TechWizTime. This video is part of a series of Synology NAS videos about getting more from your NAS. For previous videos, click on the link above or the link in the description below. In this video, I'm going to show you how to install a Windows 10 virtual machine on a compatible Synology NAS. So before we get started, you will need a few things. Firstly, you will need a compatible Synology NAS. The ones listed here are the current models compatible with the Virtual Machine Manager package. Secondly, you will need 4 GB of RAM or more. This is extremely important as you will need to allocate a chunk of memory to each virtual machine you create. And finally, you will need a BTRFS volume setup. So before we go any further, if you are a fan of TechWizTime, then you can become one of my Patreons. For as little as $1 per month, you can help TechWizTime grow into something like Linus Tech Tips. As a Patreon, you'll also receive exclusive access to a personal Slack group and the TechWizTime video development book. Otherwise, if you could share this video on Facebook, Reddit and Google+, this really helps the channel out more than you will ever know. With that said, let's get into it. Before we even touch the Synology NAS, we need to create a Windows 10 ISO and download 2 supported ISOs for Windows to install correctly. Firstly, go to this link, which will also be in the video description below, and download the Windows 10 Installation Media Creation Tool. Once downloaded, right-click on the file and run as administrator. Accept the license terms and select Create Installation Media for another PC. Select your language, the edition, the architecture, 64-bit or 32-bit for Windows 10 ISO you want to create. Most people will use the home version, some people will use the pro version, but pretty much just choose what you think is right. Select media as an ISO file and this will download the ISO ready for use with the Synology NAS. Be prepared to wait a while for some slower internet connections as this is about a 4 GB file. Once the Windows 10 ISO has been downloaded, we need to go to the Synology support page again in the video description. Choose your NAS, then scroll down to the Guest Tools for Virtual Machine Manager and download the ISO. Lastly, you need to go to the fedoraproject.org wiki website, which is down below. And once you've loaded this link, you need to click on the direct download link. Here we need to download the stable virtio-win ISO. So now that we have all the ISO images to complete our virtual machine, we can jump over to the Synology NAS. For those who haven't installed the Virtual Machine Manager, we'll quickly run through that now. So you need to go to the DiskStation menu on your Synology NAS and select the Package Center icon. Across the top, we need to click on the Settings button. Now we need to go to the Beta tab and place a tick beside, Yes, I want to see beta versions checkbox. Click on OK, and from here we need to choose the Utilities section on the left and scroll to the bottom until we see Virtual Machine Manager. Here we can click on the icon to see more details or click on the Install button to do exactly that. Once the Virtual Machine Manager is installed, we can access it by going to the DiskStation menu and clicking on the Virtual Machine Manager icon. On the first launch, we will be presented with a wizard. This will be telling the package where we want to store the virtual machines. Click Next, and here we can put a check beside the BTRFS volume we want to use. When we click Next, we will need to select the secondary LAN connection. Clicking Next again will produce a message in regards to isolating network interfaces through different subnets. And when we click on Yes, we will produce a warning that network interfaces will be restarted, so click Yes again. It should only take 30 seconds or so to come back with a big green tick. Click on the Finish button. The Virtual Machine Manager package is now installed. Next, we need to create system images for all the ISO images we've already downloaded. So inside the Virtual Machine Manager package, select System Image down the left-hand side. Here we just need to click the Create button along the top, and under Name, we will give each system a name we will recognize it by. Then choose the type as ISO file. Next, we will choose where we downloaded the images from. In my case, I have the images located on the DiskStation. So I'll select the first image once I've located it and click on the blue Select button. Now we can click Next. Here we place a tick next to our NAS and click on the blue Apply button. And after a short wait, we will see that we've created our first system image. Repeat this process for the other 2 ISO images. Now you've created all the system images, we can set up the virtual machines ready to install Windows. Inside the Virtual Machine Manager package, we need to choose Virtual Machine down the left side, and then across the top we need to click on the Create button and choose Create. The creation method we'll be using here is the ISO file method, so choose that one and click Next. Now we can configure all the specs for our virtual machine. The first thing we want to do though is to give it a name. In my case, Windows 10 is perfectly fine. Next in line is the amount of CPU cores we want to use. It's recommended to choose a minimum of 2 CPU cores for a virtual machine to run effectively. RAM is something that is dependent on your free RAM available. Generally though, 2 GB is a good starting point for most systems to run. I'm going with 4 GB myself. Under ISO file for boot up, we need to choose the system image for Windows 10 that we created before. Under Additional ISO File, we need to choose the Synology VirtIO system image. Next, for the virtual disk, we need to allocate space for the virtual machine. For a 32-bit Windows 10 virtual machine, it is recommended to use a minimum of 16 GB, whilst the 64-bit version will need a minimum of 20 GB. I'm choosing 100 GB here, so I have plenty of overheads. Now we will click the blue Next button. Here's where we assign permissions. Select accounts you want to have permissions to use this virtual machine and then click Next. We will get confirmation of our settings, so just click Apply here. Now the Windows 10 virtual machine is configured and ready for its first boot. So let's power on this puppy. To start up the virtual machine, click on the Action button up top and choose Power On. With our Synology NAS selected, we can hit the Apply button. Now we just need to click the Connect button up top to open up our virtual machine in a new browser tab. Once it boots to the wizard, choose Install Now and insert your product key when prompted. Accept the license terms by ticking the box and click Next. Here we need to choose Custom Install Windows Only and we will see an empty box. Click on the Load Driver link and click the Browse button. Here we need to choose Syno_Installer CD drive, go into the Windows VirtIO folder, Windows 10 folder and then AMD64 folder lastly. Then click OK. Tick the Hide Drivers checkbox and choose the only line there and click Next. This will install the driver so Windows 10 installer can see the virtual disk. Selecting Drive 0 now, click the new link and hit Apply and then click the OK button. This will prepare the partitions ready for Windows. Once that's done, click Next to start the installation process. This process took me around 20 minutes to get to the configuration screen, so please be patient. Now you can go through and choose your configuration here. Personally, I choose what I want Windows to collect, so I opt for the Customize rather than Express. You'll also be prompted to set up a username and password, and then Windows will finalize its installation. Now, before you get too excited, we need to install some missing drivers. So pop back to the DiskStation Browser tab and select the Windows 10 virtual machine and click on the Edit button up top. Here we need to swap the Synology ISO for the Fedora Project ISO under Additional ISO File. Click OK and jump back to the Windows 10 Browser tab. So now in Windows 10 we need to go to the Start menu and choose the gear icon for settings. Click on the devices icon and scroll down to the bottom to the device manager. Here you will see a few devices with the little yellow alert icon. We need to manually install these device drivers. Right click on one and choose Update Driver Software. Choose Browse My Computer. Click the Browse button and under this PC, choose the CD drive with the VirtIO-Win and click OK. When it pops up, click the Install button. Click on Close and repeat this step for the other missing drivers. Now everything including the network is operational. So let's recap. We've created the Windows 10 ISO direct from Microsoft, we've downloaded the VirtIO ISOs from Synology and Fedora Project, set up the system images for all three ISOs, created the virtual machine and the virtual disk, installed Windows 10, and set up the missing drivers directly in Windows. Awesome! If you have a NAS related video you'd like to see or want me to install another OS on the Synology NAS, then leave me a comment down below. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you want more Synology NAS videos, then make sure you hit that red subscribe button. And if you are already a subscriber and want to get notified of new videos, then click on the bell icon. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and as always, imagine, learn, create. And if you are